Rock Sugar Magic is brought to you by Florida Boy Inc. If you like Duck Dynasty or Swamp People, you'll love what Florida Boy has cooking up. It's Florida Boy INC, Florida Boy Inc. on Instagram. Head over there and tell them we sent you. Steve Jones.
Oh,
Jonesy.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming and being on Rock Sugar Magic.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember when you came on KLOS.
That's right.
When I can't remember if I was doing it 5 days a week or I was just doing it 1 day a week.
I don't know, but that was fun.
It was in the old studio.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good though.
Yeah, that was really fun. I had a good time.
Was there someone else? Was there another guest too?
No, it was me, but you did have Nikki Sixx in there.
Okay.
I think you had Nikki Sixx with James Michael for 6 a.m. And they were in there, and I remember that. And then I was in there with you guys, but I wasn't on air.
Yeah.
And so the guy you just met, DJ Ashba, he's the guitar player for 6 a.m. So he's the A in 6 a.m.
That's Nikki's side thing.
Yeah,
Does
exactly.
he still do that?
They haven't called it quits. They haven't done anything for a little while, but it's actually a really, really good group. I love their music. Yeah, super good. But yeah, that's so funny. I didn't know if you were going to remember that I was on your show.
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you miss it?
I miss the station that I had before, the Indie 103.1. I miss that because it was one of the things that just happened organically, and because of that, it was a small signal, and it was just like an experiment. But it got very successful, and I could literally do whatever I wanted. I couldn't do that now. If I went into iHeart and said, I got this show, I want to fart on the air, I want to do whatever I want to do, play all crazy music, that no one would go for it. It was just one of them things that just happened organically. It was a fluke. But it was great for like 5 years. It was brilliant.
But you can do that now with these podcasts.
Yeah, as long as you get someone who will pay for the,
like a sponsor.
You have to be like with a Sirius or whatever.
Yeah, you can.
Heart.
Yeah, you can. But you can also.
But they got to agree to let you do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Right. Well, but you can also start it and you grow it, and then people will bid for it. So if you can totally start this, and like Spotify wants you. Like there's people making millions and millions of dollars a year on Spotify because they grew their own podcast.
Yeah.
You have that. You have a massive audience.
Yeah.
So you should do it.
Maybe you should manage me.
I will. I will actually start your podcast. I will start your podcast for you.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
Okay. You guys, we're doing this.
When do I get paid?
Now,
when's the money coming?
I will get you sponsors and I'll take 10%. We're in.
Okay, you heard it here first.
I will get it. I'll get it for you. That's not a hard thing. That's something I can do. I've been doing podcasts since it started. When nobody knew what a podcast was, I was doing them. You're doing what?
It was like one of them things you put in your washing machine.
Yeah, the little pods.
Yeah.
So I started a long time ago, and if I would have kept that show that I started with, I'd be making a fortune.
Aye.
But I didn't. And then I had the Sixth Sense with Nikki, and I had my other shows and my TV shows and whatever. And I'm like, forget the podcast. Dumb, but whatever.
Are they still on the road?
No.
Motley Crue?
Motley Crue's on the road.
With Mr. Five on guitar?
Yep. John Five is still playing with them. And the last I heard, they were still on tour. But no, Sixth Sense, the show we did that's what I thought you meant there. That's been off for a few years now.
Yeah.
And that was fun. That was super fun. You know what else is fun?
What?
I love that you and Billy Idol are in this amazing band together. I was watching these videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
So Gen Sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for Generation X and then the Sex Pistols, and you put them together.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
My idea for the name.
Was it really?
Yes.
It's amazing. I literally
don't tell anybody. I don't want credit for it.
I was telling that to my boyfriend last night. I'm like, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's so perfect.
Sex Pistols, Generation X.
Yep.
Gen Sex.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. We've done a couple of shows like in 2018 or somewhere like that. We did one at when I was on KLOS.
Yeah.
We did one at the Roxy.
Okay.
For ticket giveaway.
Right.
And then about a week later, we went to New York. We did one at, Chrome Hearts?
Of course.
Yeah, well, Richard's like one of my best friends.
Okay.
And we did a show at his, the mothership in New York.
I bet that was amazing.
It was great.
Wow.
And that was it. So we just did two shows and that was it. And then we just, for some reason, the idea came up last year. And to do it, and it was I hadn't played live in a long time.
Really?
And I didn't really want to do it.
Why?
Because it's a lot of work.
Touring?
I didn't really care about it. I think that's my own laziness. And I got pushed into it. I didn't mind. I resented it at first. But I used to wake up in the middle of the night thinking, oh no, I've got to do these shows. We got to go to England. We got to play these bloody festivals, Hellfest and all that's like the last thing I want.
Yeah.
I just want to sit at home and watch TV, And
that's honest.
Anyway, in hindsight, it was great because we went to London. We was rehearsing for like about a month, me and the drummer and Tony James, who was the original bass player. And he was original songwriter as well. He had a lot to do with the songwriting with Generation X.
Okay. And then Paul Cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on drums. And Billy really wasn't there a lot. He was still doing stuff. And he came in like for 3 days when we got all the songs together. And then we started, we did like 14 shows. All this was in Europe. And I was not enjoying myself at first. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Were you just tired? You just
I was
didn't want
out of shape.
Yeah.
I got to England and I had the worst jet lag. I was just sick all the time. I don't want to sound like an old, just miserable person, but I was so sick. I was so out my element. I'm 68 now. I just turned 68.
I know, and I can't believe it. You actually, and I've heard you talking about your health and everything, you don't look it, which is amazing for all the hard living you've done. Yeah. You do not look it.
I need to drop a couple of pounds, but...
Keto! I'll get you on keto. Look, I'm going to get you a show. I'm going to get you on keto.
Ain't that the guy
going to make you healthy.
Keto, ain't that the guy that was in the guest house of...
Oh.
The guy who got...
the guy who got in trouble for everything?
Killed the woman...
No, I don't know. I don't know if that was that Keto.
Simpson.
No.
What was his name?
No, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah,
and you're talking about Kato, Kaylin or whatever. No. No, I'm serious though. Okay. I'll get you your podcast. Get you on keto.
Get me keto. Use guest house.
Whole new life. So then what? You just kind of. You felt better? You got what happened? What changed? Why did you like it?
I went to this doctor like every day.
Okay.
I just it was crazy. It was like allergies, peeing blood.
Yeah. Just
crazy. Just out of shape. And I'm thinking, what am I doing this for? Anyway, we got through that. And then the first show was in some little town in France, little club, and we did that, and it was like, it was like 200 degrees in this little club, and we finished, and the next day was going to be Hellfest, this big festival. I'm like, what are we doing? Anyway, after about 6 or 7 shows, it started getting good.
You felt better?
Yeah, we did Glastonbury.
Yeah.
And then when I really liked it was right near the end. We had a couple of shows in England where we play indoors.
Okay.
So indoors is where it really rocks.
Right.
When you're a festival, the noise is everywhere.
Yeah.
But we played in Wolverhampton and Manchester, and it was great. And at this time, it started having fun. We played Montreux in Switzerland. And the last show was Paris. We're opening up for Guns N' Roses at this big venue.
That is awesome.
It was great.
That
it was
is
so
awesome.
great. And the next day was Bastille Day, but it was all over then. And I just literally went, this was the good part.
Okay.
I went back to London and I stayed there for 2 months. Normally, I can't wait to get the hell out of England. I hate it. I used to hate it. I left London when I was 25. I just shut the door on it. I had bad memories doing dope and all that. And so I was programmed to like just want to get back to the States all the time. But something happened, like this. Something happened where I started embracing it, you know. And I wanted to. It was very healing for me to be in London, going to all the old haunts that I used to go to.
Sure.
And it was the weather was great. It wasn't too hot, and I just had the best time. The best time. So for me, just for that alone was worth doing all the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Will you do it again?
Was. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
The shows, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So maybe. But England now, you're going to go back?
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. I heard you say you wanted to move somewhere out in nature one time. You're like, you just love nature.
Yeah,
you
I've
want to
dropped
be out
that
there.
one.
You dropped it.
Northern
That's
California.
over. Yeah.
I love it still. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But I'm too old to be living up there by myself.
Yeah.
I could just have a heart attack and no one would know for a month.
You did have a heart attack.
I did. 2018.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I feel good.
Good.
I just I love eating, you know.
I know I was watching some stuff about you because you're fascinating. You like eating. You've never had a real girlfriend.
No.
You have diabetes. You had a heart attack. You don't want to tour. You didn't like England, but now you love it. Like, I'm like, wow, like you've made a lot of changes. Yeah. A lot in the last just kind of a short amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good. The whole experience was good. It got me out of my bubble. I can easily just fall into that bubble and not do anything. You know, I'm quite happy not to do anything. And it ain't healthy.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
It's good to get out and move about, you know, and do things. I just needed the push.
And what about, have you made any changes on the relationship level or girlfriend thing?
There's one person that I've attempting to kind of have some kind of relationship.
Yeah.
But it's hard work for me, especially being my age. I'm set in my ways.
Yeah. You've been single for so long, it's kind of hard to have somebody kind of be in that space.
Yeah. I mean, this is bizarre. I'm even trying with this one person. Yeah. Really bizarre. But I can't see it lasting because I'm just too much of a grumpy old man.
Have you ever tried just having like kind of a long distance relationship? Not necessarily even like different cities, but just kind of where you see each other maybe on weekends, or you do a trips with them. I know people who just do trips together.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm up for that.
Yeah.
It's not all about sex for me.
Right.
Not at all, really.
Yeah. Well, you were saying that this is really interesting about you because it happened to me too, not to the extent that you have it, but I would get in a relationship and I'd fall in love and wouldn't want to have sex with that person anymore. Mm-hmm. I just was like, oh no, that was
maybe me and you should get together.
Yeah, there you go.
Because we both had that thing. When I get to know someone,
done.
Yeah, done.
And I had that. Thank God, in the last few years, it really has changed for me.
Yeah.
And I like the person I'm with now, who you just met, like it's been 7 months and it's not slowing down. And that's the first time truly in my life that I've been able to do that.
What do you think changed?
A lot of work on myself. A lot of work on myself. Literally just looking in and making changes.
It's still difficult though. When whatever happened when you're young, whatever that thing was to make me be the way I am, and it's probably when I was young, that young stuff is so ingrained in you. To change is so hard.
It is. 100%.
Like crazy. And it comes up now still with this person I'm hanging out with.
I always thought.
Because at least a woman can fake it.
You can, but if you're like, so for me, and I'll just like, I've talked about this on air before, I always had massive, like I'd have sex, I'd have a bladder infection, I'd have yeast infection. I was like constantly like, what is going on? Like I didn't want to have sex anymore. It was like painful and awful. And I was like, in the beginning, it was great. I could have sex. And it was like, okay, I'll just deal with that. And I would, and I was excited because it was new. And then it was like, I'm done. I have feelings for you. I'm like, I love you. Let's just be friends. Let's go have.
And they always take it personally. They think it's about them. And it's not about them.
No,
it's not. It's not about anyone else.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I kept saying, it's me. It's not,
They don't get it, though. They think I'm just making excuses.
I did have one boyfriend who believed me. He did. He did. And it was the longest relationship that I ever had. And, which is not that long. It was almost 6 years. It wasn't even quite 6 years.
Yeah.
And I'm 51. And that's the longest relationship that I've ever had. And he would have stayed with me if I wouldn't have broken up with him. And we weren't having sex. I think the last 2 years, we never had sex. And he stayed with me and we were best friends. Yeah. And to this day, he's a kind, good, loving man.
Yeah.
And he didn't take it personally. We would talk and he understood, which was amazing. And I think that's why we lasted so long, because he did understand that. But yeah, I never thought I never got married because of it. I was just like, oh no, I was never interested in marriage. I didn't want kids. So I'm like, why be married? But I also am like, if this ends anyway, if I'm not going to have sex with you, you're going to break up with me anyway, or I'm going to break up with you. Yeah. Right. So the last, I'd say quite a while, few years, been working on that. And
are you still waiting for the coin to drop?
No, I've also, and I'll tell you something too, I dated a lot younger than me.
Yeah.
So we're the same age. DJ and I are the same age. I'm 51, he's 50. Time? First time that, yes, I've dated guys a little older and didn't work, but to be in a relationship with somebody like this, first time.
How old is he?
He's 50. He's turning 51
You're pointing,
November 10th. That's him. That's the guy you just met. I keep pointing over there because he's right there. He's in the next room.
What one?
DJ.
Oh, the musician.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was in Guns N' Roses for 7 years.
Yeah. Does he have kids?
No.
Okay. So that's good.
Yeah. And so we're the same age. He's never dated the same age. I've never dated the same age. All my boyfriends are 18, 19, and 20 years difference. Yeah. Right? They've all been, I've had a couple in the very beginning that were, one, I guess, we were close in age. But the rest, it's all been very, very.
I mean, age don't matter really.
Well, it did. I think this is why too, is that I fell out of attraction for them too, because I was dating so young and I kept expecting something else. And it was my fault. Totally my fault. Yeah. Like, you're only, 21. Oh, okay. And
it's not their fault they're 21.
No. It's my fault that I'm dating them, but they're still great people, just not where I'm at in life. Yeah. So I'm paying for everything. I'm paying for our trips. I'm paying for dinners. I'm paying for everything. And I think
so you're in control.
Yes.
That's what's
happening. True, right? That's exactly right. I needed to be in control. So when I let that go, I found
somebody. It's like a therapy session, isn't it? It's good.
There we go. It's good. Good times.
Rock and roll, yeah.
So when I was listening to you talk about that, I'm like, wow, that's sounded a lot kind of like me.
Where did you hear that from? That I did that one of the things for that. What's that?
The Viceland.
Yeah.
Viceland.
Therapist.
Yes. Yeah. And I watched that, and I thought it was interesting. Yeah. But I didn't feel like it was going to help you with insight and to change things.
No. Yeah. You know what? I wasn't even aware that that's what I was going to be doing.
What?
That's what I was doing an interview. I don't listen a lot,
They put you with a therapist and didn't tell you, and you're on TV?
Yeah, but I didn't know what it was. I thought, I didn't get it. I didn't realize it was literally going to be like a therapy session. I didn't mind.
Oh, obviously. I mean, you were so open. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bit weird, but.
I mean, the little toys on the ground and stuff were a little weird.
I still got the little...
with the little leather jacket?
Yeah,
I picked the dog.
Yeah, I still got it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. And he's like, why? You're like, because it's like most like me and has a leather jacket.
Yeah, it's because it had a leather jacket. That was the only reason.
It's like, this therapist, you're sitting there, two grown men, and there's like stuffed animals all around you. I thought, okay. And then he's like, go ahead and pick one that's like you. I'm like...
He was trying to get me to cry too.
I'm sure.
And I kept saying, that ain't going to happen.
That's not happening. Yeah. Yeah. It was okay, whatever. If it works, it works. But I just felt like it was a little odd.
Yeah, I don't know how long that guy's been a therapist, to be honest with you. I think he was a dancer or something before.
Are you serious?
I think so.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I just felt like, maybe I'm wrong, but just watching it just felt like, I'm like, well, how's that going to help him?
Yeah.
What's that going to do?
Well, it's probably interesting for people to watch it.
It was. It was interesting to see you just be so open about
Yeah.
everything. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if I'd want to sit there. I remember when I was going through the thing with my dad it was a whole public thing.
Yeah.
And they wanted me on some of these shows where they kind of, what's that? Dr. Phil and all these people. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. I'm dealing with this. I'm doing a good job. I don't need to sit here and be told what to think and how to go through it.
Yeah. You didn't go on Larry, what's his name?
Larry King?
No, the guy, Larry.
Oh, what's that?
No, not
Oh,
Larry.
no. You mean
Jerry.
Jerry. He died.
Yeah, but when he was alive.
Was that happening
Jerry
when he was
Springer.
alive? Yeah, Jerry Springer. I don't know if he was alive when that was happening. Died a little. Oh, maybe he was. No.
But that was a joke, all that stuff. But every station had one of them shows because people couldn't stop looking at a train wreck.
It's true. Very true. Yeah. And it's interesting when somebody opens up, or it's interesting when you have these personal, I guess, issues and they're aired in front of everybody. And it's like, well, this is supposed to not be in front of everybody.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I think everyone's got issues. On
100%.
Some level.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
And it's better when you're looking at someone else's issues than looking at your own.
Yeah. I think it's easier.
I'm glued to that stuff. If I see that, it's interesting.
Like, what are your favorite?
Whoever it is.
What are your favorite shows that are like that?
Well, I haven't watched any lately.
No.
But if I was flicking the channel and something came on like that, I would surely watch it.
You'd stop.
Just to see.
Oh.
If it's real, that's more interesting me than stage stuff, I don't watch a lot of TV anymore.
I stopped too. I had Lyme disease for 11 years. So there was a time when I was sick.
Didn't Daryl Hall have it too?
He may have. So many people have it.
Were you exhausted?
People have it. So tired. I would drink those Celsius drinks or like tons of coffee before I found Celsius.
Yeah.
Tons and tons of coffee just to get me through the morning.
Yeah.
I had a little energy in the morning and I could get stuff done. I could work. By the time it hit 3, I wanted to be in bed.
Would you got it from a tick?
No, I got it from a tetanus shot.
A tetanus shot?
Yeah, I was told by the virologist that they put certain diseases to make the vaccines, I guess, work. Whatever. Lyme is in many of them, and so when you're not bitten by a tick, this is what I was told, that it was from a tetanus shot, and I got a tetanus shot in 2007 in Las Vegas when I was on air.
You probably didn't even need it.
I didn't, because I didn't, and this is what upsets me so much, that
I'd be pissed.
rust does not carry tetanus. You have to be near a barn, livestock, cows. Cows and cow poop, that's what carries it. So if you're not near that, it was in my apartment. I stepped on a nail. It wasn't even, I don't even think it was rusty. And they're like, oh, come get a tetanus just to make sure. I got that tetanus shot. The next day I went to work. I had blood coming out of my nose. And I'm like, what is going on? What's happening? And I was so sick, and they're like, go home. And I couldn't get out of bed and had to call my producer to come and carry me to the emergency room. And ever since then, my health kept going downhill. And I had certain times where I was okay.
You can't really get rid of it, right?
No, I got rid of it.
But most people just
they live with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. Now, here's why I quit work. I had one show I kept for money, and I quit work, and it was the year before COVID. And I said, if I don't take care of this now, I'm going to die. So I had lost my memory. And that's what scared the hell out of me. It wasn't the pain, the rashes, the eyesight that I couldn't even look outside. If I was in a restaurant, I had to face the other way. I couldn't face towards a window. Hair falling out, like just so much sickness, and exhaustion was horrific. And when I felt better, like a day, I'd like go for a walk, make me sicker. So it wasn't that. I kept going no matter what. I just kept going. It was when I started to lose my memory, and that scared the shit out of me. Like, I couldn't remember conversations I had with people, or when I was talking to people, they're like, but I told you that. Like, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we don't even talk anymore. I think
is that part of it? Is that
part of it? Yes.
The,
yeah, it can. Not everybody has different symptoms. Yeah. So I was talking to my friend. We're both born on the same day, and we had planned on doing our birthday in Vegas, and we were talking about it. Had this whole conversation. She brought up to me, like, what about for my birthday, our birthdays? And she's like, you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, wait. She's like, we have birthdays on the same day. We were going to do something. And I didn't remember anything until she started telling me. And that started happening a lot. And my dad, died of Lewy body dementia. My uncle just died of Alzheimer's, or with Alzheimer's.
Dementia, that makes you lose your memory, right?
Yes. So I have my on my mom's and dad's side, history of dementia.
Yeah.
So I thought I had early onset Alzheimer's. It scared the living shit out of me.
Does it worry that you might get that when you get older?
Yeah. So, but I started with the treatments, and I pretty soon after got my memory back, and then my pains, and went away, and I just started to get more energy, and now I know how to cure Lyme disease.
Yeah. And
you're not supposed to say that, so I'm not going to tell. I just know I cured my Lyme disease, and I can say
you
that.
Cut that bit out.
Right. So
you know where that the word comes from, right? Lyme disease.
Yeah, from a little town in Lyme where they released
Lyme,
it.
Right?
Yeah,
in the East Coast.
That's right.
It's very big in the East Coast.
Like in Connecticut, right outside of Connecticut.
I've been bitten a few times with ticks.
Oh.
I've got in the shower and I'm like this, and I see one sticking out my back, and I'm like, I'm gonna get Lyme disease.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
I was hiking with my dog. I'll tell you where I was hiking. Do you know Capri off of Sunset in like Pacific Palisades? Anyway.
Oh, I love
down
Palisades.
Really
yes.
down where there's a lot of deer.
Yes.
And there's a little stream.
They even have horses out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one must have just jumped up. And
that's awful.
So it's happened a few times up in Northern California as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But they don't mean to say they're all going to give you Lyme disease.
Right. Not all ticks have Lyme. I used to do a lot of hiking as a kid, and we were shown how to, take a tick out or burn it or count, like get them out. And I remember, but I was never bitten, thank God.
Yeah.
I had seen people with ticks in them, and, we had to burn them and take them out, but I never had a tick bite. So then I'm stuck here with Lyme and 5 strains of it and sick as a dog.
And you took tests and there's no sign of it in your body?
No, I mean, I did the biofeedback machine, and there's
just blood work.
I've done blood work. I've done biofeedback. And I have
test tube number 2.
I didn't do that. No.
Yeah.
But I would relapse every time I'd feel better, and I'm like, oh, it's over. Relapse. So all these, all of the treatments that I did, and there were so many wrong diagnoses. Oh, it's your hormones. Oh, it's
this is from doctors or charlatans?
Doctors telling me all this wrong stuff. Yeah, but I literally, the one person that healed me does biomagnetics.
Yeah.
Put magnets all over my body once a week for $50, drinking all this, my swamp water, the phytoplankton and the chlorella, and I got my vitamins in order.
Yeah, and doctors in white coats probably think he's a quack.
Yeah.
The problem is with the white coats, they think they know it all.
That's right. And unfortunately, it's crazy. Like I now go to integrated doctors that know Eastern and Western. Doctors that, believe in what Hippocrates said was let food be thy medicine. I just changed my diet. I put the right fuel in, and I did the magnets. And now I literally got a second lease on life. And I talk about this all the time. I'm now doing everything I've wanted to do that I didn't have energy for, that I couldn't, that I felt. So I'm living a different life.
Well, you look good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got to, that's what I do. I mean, obviously, white coat, army, they're okay for certain things.
Sure.
But I don't just believe anything people tell me. I just don't.
Same. Same. I'm very skeptical because I used to believe, and then I started. When I got that tetanus shot and that happened, I was like, okay, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Whenever they give you meds, they're just testing to see if they work.
That's
they
right.
don't know.
That's right. Hopefully this will work on you.
Yeah.
It may not and may leave you with deadly side effects, but hopefully it'll work. And of course, like emergency medicine is needed. Your heart attack, right? You needed a doctor.
Sure.
But the fact that there is 7 hours of nutrition school when you go through 4 years, 6 years, 8 years of, medical training, and you've got 7 hours of like health is what you put in your body.
For sure.
Right? And they don't tell you that. They're like, take this pill.
They're not interested in your diet at all.
No.
They say, just Mediterranean. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all you get.
It's true. So I went to a psychiatrist once when I was being a really bad vegan, and I was eating just carbs and sugar and crap. And I started I felt like I couldn't think. I had ADD, ADHD. They gave me all this, you have a little depression, take all these pills. Yeah. They gave me, within 20 minutes, there was no blood test. There was no asking about my diet. There was nothing. Yeah. Oh, well, you have these, and then labeled me with all these mental illnesses and gave me all this medicine, which crashed me. Yeah. Like big time crashed me. And I was like, nope, I'm getting off of all this, changed my diet, changed everything, got blood tests taken. I was severely anemic, severely. I had to go in and get all those, Yeah, and all the drips with all the cancer patients. And I mean, I was in a cancer ward, and it was where everybody got their IVs, and people would come around with food thinking I had cancer. I'm like, no, it's just iron. It's just iron.
Iron deficient.
Massive, which leads to.
Did you used to take aspirin?
I had taken aspirin.
Because they get in your stomach and they make you iron deficient.
Oh, I didn't take it that much to do that.
Yeah.
But I had all these mental illnesses because I was so sick. And it was depleted in vitamins. As soon as my vitamins weren't depleted anymore, all those went away.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is what it is. You just gotta make your own mind up sometimes, and just don't listen to people. That's what I've learned over the years. Just hang on. Just question. There's nothing wrong with it. It's your fucking body.
That's right.
It's not their body.
That's right. 100%.
It's all good.
100%. All right. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What are you most proud of?
Being sober.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be 33 years on the 28th of this month, October.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's probably the most longest thing I've continually kept doing.
That's awesome.
Normally I give up after a couple of weeks.
What made you not quit? What?
I just didn't want to go back to that place the last time, I got loaded. It's just that desperation. I'm grateful for the desperation, because now I know, and I've relapsed a few times as well. But the last time I relapsed, I'm like, this is it, I'm done. I got to turn my life around.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to, and I still, do certain things to stay sober.
Like what?
Well, 12-step program.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't like really mention it because it's anonymous, but everyone knows.
Yeah, but it's awesome. I think any way that helps you stop that addictive, destructive, whatever it is, if it's drugs, if it's sex, if it's whatever. I mean, eating, sure, anything, gambling, whatever helps you, I think is great, fantastic. Find it and keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I got two lives, one before sobriety and one after sobriety.
Yeah.
The one before sobriety, I really had no idea how to live, or how to be an honourable person.
Yeah.
It took a long time. Yeah. I'm grateful.
That's how I feel.
That I've took that path and not kept doing dope and drink and just being a low life, And I see a lot of people who go down that road, and it's sad.
Yeah.
But you have to be the one to want to change.
That's right.
No one else can.
Right.
Do it
you can't do it for somebody, and absolutely, and somebody can't do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't make the decision, it's not going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And one other question. One other question. I always ask these questions. I usually do 10 to 20 questions with people, but we've gotten pretty deep. So, what's the one thing in life that you haven't done yet that you have always wanted to do?
I don't know. One thing. There's a few places I want to go to.
Where?
like Ayers Rock in Australia.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind driving across Australia. That where there's nobody, and you have to plan it. You have to go with people. There's no gas station.
Like Perth?
You have to
like
go
where
across.
you go across? Yeah, like where there's nothing.
Nothing. I'd like to do that. All of Australia is massive, but there's only a little bit of life around the edges of both of it, you know?
Yeah.
I would like to go on the Queen Mary back to England.
Are they ever gonna sell that ship again?
No, it's still going, the QE2. You can
the newer. I'm like, are they gonna sell that ship again? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the QE2
Okay.
is short for Queen Mary.
Okay.
I wanted to do it when I was in England to come back to. You have to go from Southampton to New York.
Okay.
And then you get a train from New York to LA.
Okay.
It's my goal to do that. I want to go from LA, New York, Southampton. I tried to do it, and they only had little cabins.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be in a little cabin. I want to experience it.
Yeah.
I want to get the big Mac Daddy room.
Yeah.
You know, wear a captain's hat.
Would you take the girl, possibly?
I don't know. That's not. It doesn't matter. Yes or no, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You just want to do it.
That's just a bucket list. That's one thing I want to do. Hopefully I do it. And you probably don't get jet lag either.
No.
It takes 6 days, 6 nights.
No.
To go from New York.
You could probably adjust yourself during that time.
Yeah,
like,
I
you know?
think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's 2 things.
And then the other 2, we're going to get you on keto and get you a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm telling
and you're going to get me on the Queen Mary.
I could get you on the Queen Mary. It's a phone call away.
I tried, man. I tried the hustle. Then the top rooms go first. Then the next ones go. And the only ones that are available are the ones at the bottom.
And you're saying that they're just fully booked out.
Well, there's only so many Mac Daddy rooms.
Yeah.
There's like 6 or 8 or something.
Okay.
And then it goes down from there.
Okay. And do you want it free or are you going to pay?
No, I don't mind paying. I would have gladly paid.
Okay.
I think it was like 20 grand or something.
Okay.
But I'd prefer it to be free.
Okay, well, let me see what I can do. I'm good with stuff like this. I'm not promising anything, but I do. Let me see what I can do.
Okay.
And people get sick, so they cancel. Like I'm always on it, you know? I'm like, look, people get sick. Can you put me on a waiting list? I want to, if anybody drops out, we're in. And we're like, we're somebody who can drop something and just go, right? You can just, unless you're on tour, but you can just drop everything and go.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I just want to wear a captain's hat.
Okay. We can send you one of those. I should have had one for you and just made you wear it.
I've got one. It's funny, a lot of guys when they get older start wearing captain's hat. Like a lot of the Beach Boys.
Oh, they do?
A couple of them started wearing them. Chuck Berry used to start wearing one.
I didn't see him with it.
They're like just them, the white ones.
Yeah.
Like
with the black stripe.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be a thing when you get older. You want to wear a captain's hat.
I don't know. It reminds me of Love Boat and like the captain on Love Boat. You know, that's all I think about. Is like that. Oh, I love the Love Boat.
See, that's what I like watching. Stuff like that.
Yeah. You know what I started watching? That Girl.
What's that?
It's with Marlo Thomas. Oh. It's with, Jason Thomas Gordon, the guy that that would just walked up to you. He, his aunt is Marlo Thomas. His grandfather is Danny Thomas. And my dad and his mom dated before my dad married my mom.
So is it 60s, 70s?
Yeah. I'm like, what? I just started watching it. I'm like, this is crazy. And I've known Marlo forever. Like, we're not friends or anything, but I've just known the family. I grew up with them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this is her show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Also, Carol Burnett. Love Carol Burnett. And, there's so many old shows that I think are just so good.
I started watching a few shows in England when I was there, but weird stuff.
Like what?
Like this one guy he just goes on trains all over England and Europe. And he has this little book, and it's just mellow, and he just talks about the trains, and you're on the train, you see outside, and they're pulling in the station. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So he's just on a train and you see the
different trains, different types of trains, like old school trains.
Yeah.
And like in Russia, like everywhere he goes. And it's just fun. If you're old, it's great.
I guess, have you ever been to Train Town right out here in Griffith Park?
Oh, yeah. All them trains.
I love those trains.
They don't work though, do they?
No, they just sit there.
Yeah.
But they're old locomotives.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
I tried to do a photo shoot in there and they're like, no. So maybe.
They wouldn't have it?
This was a long time ago. I could probably try it again,
sure
maybe.
I thought you were the one who make phone calls.
This is a long time ago. Now I'm like, I can get anything done. Watch. I might get you that Queen Mary trip.
Yeah, sure.
And we'll see. Okay. So if I do, then what?
I don't know. What do you want?
I do want 10% of your podcast, which I think I could do.
Well, you better talk to her.
Yeah.
You know who.
Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to her. She's like, what are you doing? You're taking my client. I'm like, no. I'll talk to her about it. Because I do think, I mean, you should be on air. You're just a natural because you will talk about whatever. You don't give a shit.
Yeah. I like the fact that we haven't spoke about rock and roll.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. I have artists in here. Like, I had 2 producers in, the Churko brothers. Let me give you that again because they're not brothers. And I always say that. The Churko family, there's a father and son team. And they've done anywhere from like Shania Twain to Papa Roach to, I mean, they've like Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, they're producers, right? They do everything.
Guys?
No, they're white dudes. One has like a long beard, and the other one's into wrestling, and they're funny. Kane and Kevin Churko. So I have them in, and we talked a little bit about music, not much, and we just talked about them and talked about their philosophy in life, and like, are we living in a matrix? Are we like just really interesting stuff, right? Yeah. And at the end, he goes, "We didn't even talk about music." I go, "Because there's a million YouTube videos of you talking about how to produce, how to use a board, I'm like, I don't want to do the same thing. I want to get to know you." Yeah. And we did talk a little bit about Gen 6.
Some people don't want to open up. They just want to talk about business. They want to promote themselves.
Yeah.
Most people
that's true.
Are on a show, like whatever show, to promote themselves.
Yeah. But you don't need to do that.
It's boring.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
I used to get them out.
If they started doing that?
On KLOS, if they started hustling, I'm like, okay, well, that was great. I'll see you later.
Thank you. Yeah. Done. It's not fun. Your audience will turn off.
Yeah.
You know? If it's not interesting, they're not learning something new about the person, and it's something you can find all over
They're
wherever.
robotic. They don't know anything different, some people.
So that's why I like to change it up and talking about different things. Yeah. I find it more interesting. Well, thank you so much. I so appreciate you coming down.
Yeah.
Driving all the way from Malibu.
Yeah.
Yeah. To the valley.
It's so bloody hot today, man.
I know.
I think my car would be melted when I get out there.
It's crazy. It feels like summer. I love it. I like the heat. I'm cold.
It's going to be
always.
over Monday, though, just to let you know. It's going to get down in the...
You just killed my buzz.
Early 70s.
Yeah, that sucks.
Maybe not out here. Might be still hot.
It is a little warmer in the valley.
Yeah.
Which I like. Yeah.
You live out in the valley?
I do. Sherman Oaks.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you in the valley or no? Probably on the other side of the hill.
I'm not far from Sherman Oaks.
Okay.
Go over the hill.
Oh, yeah. I love the Beverly Glen Center.
Yeah.
I love it there. Are you there?
I love the shoe.
Oh, I go to the
sushi restaurant.
Yeah. I go to Fabbricini's, my favorite Italian restaurant in the world.
Hang on now, is that the one next to Shoe or the other end?
The opposite end. It's the one that's not like the other one is like really like the ambiance is a bit nicer. But the food at Fabbricini's, they make everything.
Yeah, no, I know. It's the one next to the supermarket.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
What bugs me about all them restaurants?
Tell me.
They charge you for bread and butter.
I know. Well, no. Fabbricini's does not.
Are you sure?
Positive. Fabbricini's does not. They always bring it out.
I mean, they're meant to be like high-end restaurants and they're charging you for bread.
That's ridiculous. But I don't think Fabbricini's does.
Would you like some more bread? Like, and then, I don't think people know you're charging you for it.
That's awful. That's awful. If I had a restaurant, I would never do that.
No, and
I would never do that.
It if you're in like, it's a high-end place.
Yeah, and the bread is ancient grains and whatever. I don't know it. It's like a special bread on the menu. Yeah, fine.
No.
But when you bring a bread basket out, you should not be charged.
It's tacky.
It is tacky. It's very tacky. Yeah. Well,
Maybe they'll hear this.
Yeah. All right. So good having you on.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.